See. Hello, everybody. This is Rose Chastain from Your Natural Healthcare. And with me today, I have the marvelous Kael with me. I'm very lucky to get to be with you. Thank you, Kael, for making the time to spend with us.
Thanks, Rose, for inviting me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm going to tell you guys about Kael and who she is and why we're so lucky to be with her in a minute, but it's rather funny. We couldn't get Zoom to connect to Facebook to stream live. So talk about uncertain times. Nothing is going as it should, and that's absolutely perfect. So let me tell you about Kael and why it's so important that we hear what she has to say, what she has to offer. So Kael lives on Vashon Island with her husband, 2 children, 2 cats, 2 lizards, and a dog. And I love that you started introducing yourself that way. Kael Balizer has maintained a successful practice as a natural therapeutic specialist and an Ayurvedic practitioner, serving hundreds of clients over the past 20 years. She's studied Ayurveda at the Ayurvedic Institute and in India. Is that in India with your teacher?
Yeah.
I have no idea how to pronounce that. Vaidya, Dr. Vasant?
Dr. Vasant Lad.
Beautiful. Vasant Lad. It sounds so lovely. She's also the co-founder of Life in Balance Ayurvedic Rejuvenation Center and has taught Ayurvedic classes through studios and schools in Washington, including at Bastyr. She leads amazing women's retreats. She does group cleanses. She does retreat centers at her center in Vashon Island. Kael is also a doula and a mother and loves working with women, is so empowering in working with women in all different stages of her life. Her work also focuses on the integral connection between body, mind, and emotions. And if you all remember, we referred to that not too long ago when we were interviewing Dr. Prince, and we were talking about that true health is the triangle of body, mind, and emotions. And Kael has researched further. She's found that using Ayurvedic practices and EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, most effectively facilitates physical and emotional healing by getting to the deep emotional roots of issues. And then, the other most important thing you must know about Kael is she is doing a spring Ayurvedic home cleanse starting on April 21st. This is really an ideal time for us to do a reset since, we have nowhere else to go. It's a good time for contemplation and doing a reset. So you can participate from anywhere in the world, and her cleanse will be at 65% off the usual price. And Kael can be found, and we'll say this again at the end, but you can reach Kael on her website, which is ayurvedaseattle.com. And if you're like me, I had to spell it. So that's AYURVEDA Seattle.com. Okay, so now you guys know who Kael is, and what you don't know from her bio is that I have known her for a very long time. And for me, Kael, being with you is like being bathed in this warm hug and love. I feel always steeped in love when I'm with you. So I'm so grateful that you are this beautiful being in my life.
Thank you, Rose. So good to be with you. It's been too long.
I know. So as you know, as I was telling you, this whole series is about peace of mind in uncertain times. Uncertain times when Zoom and Facebook doesn't connect and when nothing goes as it's planned and all of the things we're dealing with, let alone sort of the ethos of fear. We don't know, even very powerful people who are normally experiencing power and control don't know what to do about this situation. We can't fix it. We can't control it. We can't make it all better. So it's very uncertain for multiple different reasons. And I think, speaking for myself and a lot of people, a lot of our clients that I've been working with, it's disconcerting. And they're having to deal with deep issues and deep emotional feelings that otherwise are buried in their busyness. So this is a time of a lot of new experiences. So one of the things I really wanted to find out from you is, in this sort of stew of fear and stress, how do you maintain or find your peace of mind? I mean, we can just see you here in the video, and you're still and you're breathing. And So how do you do that?
So that heightens my stress a little, but yeah.
You're all good.
But I actually am experiencing, I told my husband last night, I said, I feel really well resourced. And so I feel like the things that I do in my life on a regular basis and how I've brought them in even more now are definitely making a difference for me. So, you know, one thing as an Ayurvedic practitioner, I mean, a lot of these daily practices of maintaining daily rhythms, super important, and meditation is a definite anchor for me. Using EFT, emotional freedom techniques, which I'll talk a little bit more, the tapping, I'll talk about a little bit later. I mean, those are kind of my daily go-to. But the other thing that feels really important that I would highly recommend for everyone, I've been thinking about the power of listening and the power of speaking and how important it is to be heard. And that's a lot of times what happens with EFT is people get to actually put their, you know, give their emotions a voice. And we can do that in a lot of different ways, but one way that I've definitely been doing it in my life right now is connecting. I do nonviolent communication, so I have empathy partners. So we can call each other anytime for empathy. So just exchanging 5 or 10 minutes, it just makes such a difference. I also do co-counseling, reevaluation co-counseling, which was actually started here in Washington. And but that's actually a lifetime. I grew up with that. But so I that I do counseling sessions with. I do it with my sister. Actually, my husband and I try to a couple times a week sit down and just listen to each other for 15 minutes. And the kind of listening I'm talking about is just really giving someone an opportunity to share while knowing that they can handle it, that they're going to figure it out. And so when we have that opportunity, a lot of times what happens when someone's just really listening is the emotions will come. And my Dr. Lad, he says, our emotions come to liberate us. So like we want to eat that thing or get on Facebook or do whatever distractions we have to not feel the emotions. But the emotions that are rising so strongly for everyone now are such power access for our clear, creative, resourceful thinking. So that feels super important. I guess I just wanted to tell everyone to create that with people in your lives. I do it with people that don't have any training in any of this. But I've just found I get with friends and we divide time, and just sharing is incredibly healing.
Well, I know when you and I were speaking the other day, I think we were both on the beach, or no, you were at the beach and I went to the beach or something like that. And it was just in that moment, both what we had to say was our spouses were driving us crazy, and just being able to express that, and both of us knowing that we would sort it out and move on, but being able to express it really gave me a lot of freedom and ability to sort of breathe or be in my own skin in that moment.
Yeah, and you know what really helped with me with my husband was saying, hey honey, can we take a little listening time? Like just to be able to hear each other, and then all of a sudden our connection was back. It was like, oh, you over there, we've both been in survival, you know, and really connecting made all the difference. Speaking about the beach, that's another big resource for me, is getting outside in nature every day. Like that feels key.
That's extraordinary. So far, just in the first like 10 seconds of talking to you, we've got listening, we've got the emotion, the daily practice, being in the beach, and making sure we tend to that connection and practice that we have with the loved ones we have. It's really extraordinary. Now, I don't know, I know we were going to ask other questions and go in a few different directions, but I would love to hear more about the emotional freedom technique. And you were saying that you think that that's one of the most impactful things. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, definitely. I would say if there's one thing, it's like where I'm getting inspired to share and what I have right now to offer is EFT, emotional freedom techniques, because I feel like it's a tool that is so powerful. You know, it's now been proven to be effective for PTSD, for trauma. You know, the Psychological Association has now said that it's an effective tool for this, right? And it's something that we can do for ourselves. Like you can learn these tapping points and you can start using it immediately, you know? And it's so quick so what happens when we go into a state of panic or a lot of us feeling just in basic survival right now, or we might be triggered by something, we might be triggered more easily right now, is that we go into that middle brain, the primordial brain, or they call the amygdala part of the brain. And in there, all we can do, that's the fight or flight center of the brain, all we can do is survive.
Yes.
Like there's no creative thinking in that place. We're just in full survival.
Yes.
So we start tapping through these points. These are meridian endpoints. So if you know of Chinese medicine, right, the endpoints where you might put a needle that affect the channels in the body that connect to all the organs, the tissues, the visceral, tissues, but also to our emotional body. Because you really separate the two. And actually in Ayurveda, why I say that I marry them both together, is that we also have what's called marmas. So these are all marma points, which connect to channels called shrotas. So, both systems are the oldest really medical and spiritual systems in the world. Wow. So they both use these external points to affect the mind and the body. So,
wow. Well, I noticed the other day, I don't remember what I know. We can keep tapping and talking. It's the tapping and talking. I noticed the other day I think I was worried about something or fighting with my spouse. I don't remember what it was. Something was happening. And the next day I was reflecting, because I'm doing this practice. It's journaling, and I reflect on my day and create, the next plan for the next day. And one of the things I noticed is that the day before, that was full of stress, I couldn't remember what I ate, where I went. And I went, oh, that's because that's what your body does when you're in flight or fight, is it shuts down and dumps memories and doesn't keep anything that's not directly tied to your survival. And I was thinking, wow, I'm actually missing things right in front of us. Like I went for a walk and there's the big cruise ship that came into the Oakland Harbor. I don't know if you heard about it on the news or whatever, but it's right out in the bay. I can see it from the beach when I go and I walk, right? And it's this big, huge boat in front of me. And I was thinking, yesterday when I was contemplating this, did I see any of that? And I realized I really didn't. So it's for me, everything you're saying is so powerful, because it's not just about the external or our performance or how we're operating, but it's what's the internal piece, and that gives you the world that you're able to interact with. So what you're talking about in your practices is really sounds to me you are creating a universe starting from the one inside of you.
Yeah.
And creating that peace and the meridians and the connection. And everything you're saying sounds so powerful. I am inspired by the power of that.
Yeah, just tapping these points alone, if you knew nothing else but you knew these points, and you can go to my website and you can find them online. It reduces cortisol. So they've done studies that show side by side with people. They tested the cortisol levels, which is one of the indicators of stress, and they did a study with a third of the group just sitting quietly. The other group was doing talk therapy, and then the other group was doing EFT tapping. And the other two went down 14%, which is kind of a normal if you took an hour.
Yeah.
But the EFT group went down 24% in cortisol,
wow.
which is very significant. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Bring ourselves back into the present moment by lowering these stress chemicals in our body. And
that is awesome. Now, I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot. This is not one of the things I said I'd ask you here, but
I'm good. I like we're chatting.
Okay. Do you know, because obviously with owning your natural health care in the CBD company, I've been studying a lot about CBD and homeostasis and the balance of all of our different body systems. And I get to work with incredible practitioners like you. So I've been getting little pieces of wisdom from all over the place. And I was thinking about taking CBD, something like our spray, and taking that in conjunction with this tapping.
Yeah.
And in conjunction with, breathing. It seems to me like one of the best things that we could do is find a combination that is really practical or doable for us and for our life.
Rose, do you put essential oils too in your CBDs?
I do. Well, this our main one is MCT oil, peppermint essential oils, and CBD isolate. So it's those two. One of the things some of our clients do is add different essential oils to the bottle.
Yeah. So can you use that one topically as well?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking one thing you can do is apply it to the points. Which
that's cool.
Right? You could apply it to the points to activate them a little bit more, but also maybe just taking the CBDs helps already start calming the body down, and then you can help regulate yourself even faster.
That's awesome. It works. Yeah. I'll send you some of this.
Okay, great. Yes, Rose, I'm going to try it.
But I can tell when I tapped right here with it, because I put some on me, and I can smell the mint, which is already freshening, right? But I almost instantly had this, what it felt like? It felt like after a long day and you come home and you take your bra and your shoes off. It felt like that. That moment of,
Yeah, exactly. And the mint opens up the lungs, which helps with emotions and prana and life force in our body, and that accesses our emotions. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me what you are doing to keep you and your family healthy and sane.
That's a fun one because, with us all being home, like life has really changed, but I'm enjoying that. I feel like I have more access to regulating how our life goes rather than at the effect of all the events and, everything that we are constantly doing. And one thing, that I've been putting in place, it's really important with Ayurveda, is maintaining rhythms in alignment with nature. So keeping your rhythms going. Like we thrive, and especially all of us, right? You're young people always created bedtime routine, a wake up routine, right? Because children thrive on that, but actually we do too. And so, we're maintaining waking at generally, by a certain time of the day, like rising. And I'm helping encourage the kids to get moving. So my daughter started like going to the track and running. I didn't quite know what to do with my son about it. So I felt like this was super resourceful as I called his wrestling coach. Yeah. And I asked him to start doing morning workout with the wrestling team on Zoom. Awesome. Yeah. And they're starting next week, 3 days a week. I'm doing 20 minutes of aerobics and stretching and, strength training. And then just maintaining like some rhythm in our family. So eating together at night, having a meal plan, having the kids be part of cooking and nourishing their bodies. Eating healthy food is super important. And we have a rhythm of going outside every day. So generally as a family, or maybe 3 of us going for a hike, we have that set into our schedule. And just little things like, because days people are like, oh, who cares what day it is? Monday to, in some ways it has less and less significance. Yeah. But for us, those touchstones, like Friday night is Shabbat and we make challah, and that's a time for us. And then we started putting in other things. Tuesday night is documentary night. And, Thursday night we have no electronics, and then we have game night. It's like, just creating some sort of rhythm and balance for ourselves. And I feel like a lot of people are saying that is off, like their eating schedules are off. They're sleeping late or not sleeping well. So
yes, definitely. I know for me, my emotions, conversations, and sleep are definitely all tied together, and when you don't sleep, then that impacts everything else. And it's, all of that. So what I love about everything you've said here, besides it was marvelous and so much fun with my new tapping and but what I really love is there isn't anything that you brought up that is difficult or hard to implement. It is what we're already longing to do and what already feels good for us. And I love that there's no effort or blame or struggle in what you're saying and what you're creating. These are easy to follow and easy to implement tools.
Yeah.
Anything else you would like everybody to know?
Well, there was one other question you asked, and you said a few things everybody should know or practice. So
Yes.
I did think, I thought of three things that I would recommend. Well, one I said is EFT, so learning how to tap. And I'm doing a lot of live videos right now. I've been working with people online to teach that, and I'm going to be opening up a private group where I'm going to be tapping with people twice a week. So I'm really excited to teach people that and have that tool for themselves. The other one is meditation, even if it's 5 minutes a day, just sitting quietly, watching your breath. Or there's so many online meditations now. You can Thich Nhat Hanh, or Joe Dispenza is one of my favorites right now, but just anything where you just letting the body relax, letting the mind come still, even if it's 5 minutes, we can start training ourselves to pause, to not be going all the time. And then the other thing is breath, and that's a big part of Ayurveda, is the breath practices, pranayama. And there's one practice in particular that if we have another minute, I just teach you. It's
Yes, please.
It's called, because this one, if somebody calls me in a panic, if they don't know EFT, but the breath practice I would give them is called Brahmari, or bee humming breath, because it helps to vibrate our bodies and also move fear. Like, one of the main things it does is that it moves fear. It can move exhaustion from our bodies too. So I do it a lot when I'm driving. If I'm getting anxious moving somewhere, I just start doing it. Yeah. So you're basically breathing through the nose, and then you're humming. And one thing, if you'll notice how long your exhale was, right? So a lot of times when we're stressed, what we end up doing is,
yeah.
And this creates more heightened, what we call pitta, or heat and intensity and pressure in our bodies and our minds. So we become more stressed. So if we can create a long exhale, which the Brahmari breath does, it helps us to create that long exhale. It also vibrates. You can move the vibration around. You can change the tone to move up to your third eye. You can change the tone to move into your thymus. So healing, a lot of us right now too, our fear gets stuck here in our throat, like we can't speak.
Yeah.
Right? So if you put it down into this part of your body, it also can heal the thyroid. So let's just go ahead and, you want to do that, like 3 more breaths together?
Yeah, let's do it.
See how we feel.
I know.
Just go at your own pace. And I was playing with the sound and feeling how I could even bring it down into my heart. Yeah. And then I thought, I wonder if I could bring it down to my root chakra. And just with my awareness with the breath, I came all the way down. It just feels really good and grounding to bring it deep into the body. And this breath practice actually is used with what's called pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses. So at another time, but this is a simple way to get started, but you can also withdraw the senses while you do it. You can hear, or even just blocking the ears, you can hear the humming. You want to try one, just blocking the ears?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, yeah. How are you feeling having done those few breaths?
That's really, I feel more in my body and present. The other thing that it's cool is often I will struggle when I feel any strong emotions. I'll struggle to find the words for them. And what's cool about that is my experience was like, oh, I could find it. I could find the words. So that is very powerful. And then of course I smell mint still too. So
that helps you having the full experience. I'll pull out I have all my essential oils over here. I'm sure I have some mint somewhere.
Perfect. And I'll send you this. So I wanted to.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure, my dear. And I want to remind everyone again, I said I would do it at the end, that on the 21st, you're starting your home cleanse.
Yeah, and registration actually ends on the 10th.
Okay, good.
Because part of the cleanse, though, is they get a personalized consultation with me, and where I tell them what herbs specifically to buy for them for the cleanse. So I customize the cleanse for each person.
Awesome. So they all should get your ass moving, people. Now is the time. And then also, exactly, a week away. And then I also wanted to remind everybody that part of the peace of mind in uncertain times is a special we're running with all our CBD products. So if you go to Your Natural Health Care, you can get any of our products, anything you want, and 15% off and no shipping. So go buy products and find Kael and enjoy your humming and your peace.
And your tapping.
And your tapping.
Okay.
Thank you.
All.
Kael. Thank you.